I see you go.
We are back for the second game of our doubleheader here at West Beach in the Softball SA Premier League. West Torrens versus Walkerville Cats. And, well, at the start of the day, West Torrens were sitting in 5th with Walkerville in 3rd. We've had a bit of a change in the ladder. Hills Heat winning the early game, leapfrog into 2nd place. Just chose to show how close this competition is. James Harris here. And alongside me, Kathy Lambert and Lee Hull. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, James. It was a really exciting finish that last game, and certainly looking forward to this one. This also is going to be a great game. But perfect conditions here at West Beach. It'll be about 24 degrees and a very slight breeze. How about your thoughts, Lee?
My thoughts are exactly the same as what you said, Kathy. After going through last Saturday with the wind and the dust and everything, it's perfect. And even more so, it's looking perfect for Christmas Day for those that are going to, shall we say, pig out.
On screen is the Walkerville leadoff hitter, Chelsea Robinson, and we'll see her feature. She missed the last couple of games for Walkerville, but is on a 7-game hitting streak and just showing absolute sensational form, leading the Walkerville Cats, hitting .455, 10 hits on the year, hitting .571 on base average. So absolute terrific person to start the game for the Walkerville Cats. Taylor Mead on the mound for the Eagles. We might go around the defensive lineup in a moment, Lee, but it's Taylor Mead to start for the Eagles and fires that one in there just inside for a ball. Surprised not to see Steph Trzynski. She made a welcome return. She started on Wednesday night. She threw 5 innings for 12 strikeouts.
Yes, I think so, James. I guess they're just treating her very carefully, aren't they? She's come back from a long-term injury. You don't want to overdo it, but she's batting. I see she's batting as the DP for Taylor.
Sort of roll over in the warm-up for a little bit as well, so maybe they've got thoughts to bring her in if and when required. These two teams have only faced off once. It was West Torrens 7-4. As Robinson fouls that one off.
And they're sitting only 1 point difference in the ladder too. So I'm sure Coach's got to be keeping a really close eye on how this game progresses, and making sure that it doesn't blow out if that should happen. And we haven't seen that much from Taylor's pitching all year anyway. She's done a really good job to hold the teams, but I also know that West Torrens will definitely be wanting to just keep within striking distance of that Final Four.
Taylor Mead has a 2-win, 5-loss record. She's thrown 39 innings for the Eagles, so she's done the bulk of the work. So Robinson pops this one up to the right side, and Cara Schultz gets under it to take a good catch just at the dirt, the border of the dirt and the grass for the first out. So good catch there from Schultz for the first out. I was just mentioning Taylor Mead's pitching. She's been a bit of an unsung hero, and her form has kept West Torrens in the hunt for the top 4. They've got a 6-6 record.
Yeah, and certainly doing such a great job since they've come back from the circuit breaker.
Hayley Benithan has been an out-and-out superstar in this competition this year. A young up-and-coming player over the last couple, a bona fide star of this competition, hitting .407. Not only has she got 11 hits, but she's got 12 walks for a .590 on-base percentage.
That's an impressive statistic.
Kathy, we mentioned in the show earlier, the first game, the top 5 batters in the competition, Cameron, Hood, Robinson, Harris and White, just the Aussie superstars just going at it, but not far behind her are Hayley Benithan and Steph Trzynski, both to feature in this game. So Hayley Benithan with her, 11 walks, or 12 walks, 13th walk of the season. It's the 13th game, so she's getting a walk a game.
Well, there's a lull in the play. I'll go around the team here. Defensively for the Eagles, Taylor Mead, as you've mentioned, to Carly Allen, Kelsey Nucky at first, Cara Schultz second, Lana Kaysler third, Jordan Harris shortstop, outfield left to right, Faith Pickard, Alicia Marchink, Jackie Beale, and Steph's batting DP for pitcher Taylor Mead. And the umpires in the game, on plate, it's Steve Wallace-Yarrow at first, Damien McCauley, and at third it's the man from Victoria, Brett Tyler. Yes, I'm just checking to see whether our official scorer, Lindy Radigan, would pick me up on that, and she did.
Thanks, Lee. We've seen 2 balls to the new hitter for the Walkerville Cats, Sophie King. Hayley Benithan hasn't got much more than a lead off there at first base. Has stolen 2 bases on the season. Surprising to see no play, no bunts, no steal attempts so far.
Yeah, I'm really surprised about it, particularly when you've got super speedy Hayley on first base and another speedy player here in the batting box, Sophie King. So, you know, even putting the ball on the ground is going to put a lot of pressure on West Torrens to pick it up and play it perfectly, knowing those runners are going to be close to the base.
Pick-off attempt from Carly Allen.
Just a correction with the umpires. We believe it's Stuart Tyler, the father of Brett, out there at third base.
King pulls this one foul. Walkerville, since the circuit breaker, have had 2 wins, a draw and a loss to really keep them in contention.
Oh, that was an accidental throw back to Carly, and accidentally got Sophie on the helmet. Thank goodness there's helmets.
Lana's working on the fact you can't strike them out, knock them out. I don't think I've seen that happen before.
Oh, I've missed that. I missed all of it. So ball 4. So Sophie King will get aboard. Hayley Benithan will advance, and yeah, it's danger signs early for West Torrens with just 1 out, bringing up Sophie Roberts, who was the league leader in RBIs last year and the team leader for Walkerville this season with 6. She's got 9 hits, hitting .290. Dangerous hitter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why she's in the cleanup position here. Sophie can hit hard and Sophie can hit long. So, yeah, Taylor's going to have to try and keep it out of her real favorite positions there to minimize any damage that can happen here.
Pulls this one foul, so if Roberts can just hold back a little on it, she could send this ball deep into orbit. We can see that the outfielders are showing respect to this hitter by fielding deeper than normal. And that ball's gone a little wild again from West Torrens. We can see it's not coming together for him. Early signs here, Lee.
Yeah, it's just you've just got to be so patient with the pace off the pitch. Just wait till it gets to your hitting position and then tee off.
So 2 wins and a draw and a loss for Walkerville since circuit breaker. West Torrens, however, are on a 3-game winning streak, and they dropped the first game back from the circuit breaker.
Yeah, Taylor just struggling a little bit finding the right accuracy, the right distance there for the ball. So Carly's doing a good job collecting those that are bouncing in front of her, but you certainly don't want to give too many of those away.
Timeout called, just so Mead and Allen can have a bit of a chat. Now, I think this might be the first time these two have worked together, because Faith Picardo, who's at left field today, has been catching the first half of the season. Carly's come back from injury and returned to the catching position. 3 consecutive walks.
A trifecta of base on balls, James.
Just having a look at the stats list here. Taylor Mead, out of 39 innings of work, throwing 10 strikeouts and 26 walks. She's given up 65 hits, so she's giving up 2 hits an inning, just under 1 walk an inning. So this inning has not been a great start for Mead, but she's done so well. She's got a good field behind her. They're in tight now for Lupino, the hitter. Ground ball to Mead. She has to play home here. Hayley Benithan puts it all on the line.
Great slide in.
Good play from Taylor Mead, second out of the inning.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. It puts a little more pressure on Karen, although Karen's obviously a great batter, so I'm sure, and very experienced, so she probably doesn't feel any pressure. But, you know, just knowing they're in a good scoring position here, but also with 2 outs.
Dale's hitting 292 on the season. Handy player. She's played in 10 of the 12 games, Lee.
Yeah, she's... If you're looking for experience, there's some.
As Lana Kaiser shucks that one across, gets it in front of shortstop and fires it across to first base player Kelsey Nucky for the 3rd out. So although 3 walks in the inning, West Torrens defense holds up.
Yeah, they did a good job. That certainly wasn't the start they probably wanted, but as you said, James, you know, the defense held them up, and they are known for the defense. So that's all Taylor needs to do. She just needs to get that ball into a position where it can be hit. Obviously not right down the middle, but somewhere where they can get a hit on it, and you know, just rely on the girls behind her to do the rest of the stuff.
And it just goes to show you, if you pitch real slow stuff to the very good batters, you don't get any really hard shots. We didn't have a hard shot. We had about 2 miss hits, and they just dribbled along, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's what the teams are finding. I think they're really finding it difficult to hit Taylor because, you know, they're waiting for that power and speed off the pitcher, and
Yep.
and they're not getting it. So there's been a lot of mistimed hits, and you know, it's not usually, and if it happens, it's not usually till towards the end of the game where they're starting to find that rhythm a little bit better. Get some better hits. Go ahead.
Sally Cole, we're talking pitches, so Sally Colquist has ball in hand for the Walkerville Cats. Her partner in crime, Riley Moore, doesn't look like she's in full uniform, Lee, so maybe carrying a slight injury, but Sally has been getting the job done for the Cats. She's pitched 4 of the team's 6 wins, 34 innings of work, and not too many strikeouts, but she doesn't give up many walks either, so she really relies on the field. But I would say that she's got as good control as anyone in this competition. She hits the edges. She really makes the batters work, and she has a terrific infield to support her.
Plus the fact that she's a thinking pitcher, and she's very experienced, James and Kathy. I might just whip round the defensive side of things for the Cats. Sally, as you've mentioned, to Hayley Benithan, Jenny Gray at first, Ash Lapino at second, Sophie Roberts third, Chelsea Robinson at shortstop, outfield left to right, Sophie King, Bianca Ramsey, Lisa Yancey.
Jordan Harris to lead things off for the Eagles, hitting 444 for the season. Ridiculous numbers, some of these elite players in this competition.
Yeah, that top, like you said, James, that top 5 group represents our Aussie squad girls who've been part of that squad over the last few years. So it's nice to see them all putting things together at the right time of the year and the right time of the cycle.
Big cut from Harris, a swing and a miss to go behind in the count 0-2. Fly for a ball. Good idea to go up and out of the zone when you're ahead 0-2.
Yeah, definitely try and catch the batter, you know, keen and wanting to swing, and usually it's always hard when it's coming up high.
Into the gap goes Lambert. She'll take extra bases as she turns and stands up at second base. So lead-off double for Harris.
Yeah, that's a great hit. That's exactly what West Torrens want. They want Lambert on base. They know she's a dangerous base runner. So, you know, this just sets it up for Lana Kaiser, who's just another power hitter and, you know, can always advance a runner or two. So this is a great position for them to be in.
6th extra base hit for the season for Harris. Kaiser's come on of late, a bit of a slower start, you'd think, for her standards, and 8 hits on the season, hitting .320. One of the 6 batters in the Eagles lineups hitting better than 300.
Those are impressive stats for a team, isn't it?
Well, considering that they started the year 0-4, I think, and they had a real slow patch after in and around that where they got 1 hit in one game and 2 hits in the next game, so 3 hits over 2 games over that period.
Yeah, well, they've definitely found their straps, and I'm sure they're very thankful that they did after such disappointing start to the season after 5 games. So, yeah, and I don't know, maybe just getting used to a new lineup. Obviously, Steph not pitching, and I don't think she played the first few games as well. So, new players in the team, but also new lineup.
Crushes this to the backhand of the shortstop, Chelsea Robinson, who has time to recover. But the bounce throw takes the first base player, Jenny Gray, off. So she stops it from going into an overthrow position. So the runner doesn't advance, but the runner is safely aboard. Great pickup from Gray.
Yeah, it was great play all round there from all the girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hitter, Lana, and the shortstop, Chelsea, to Jenny. That could have been seeing Lana on third base.
Faith Picard shows bunt, advancing the runners. Good play from Jenny Gray to get the out over at Ash Lapino for the first out, but 2 runners aboard for the 4-hitter Cara Schultz.
Yeah, Cara's been hitting well, but that's perfect softball. That's what you want to see, get a few players on and then, pull out the bunt. Lee, I'm sure you would have loved that. You like to see that style of play and, sets it up for Cara, who had a fantastic game. Was it a game? 2 RBI in the game on Wednesday night, which really helped the win.
In a 3-0 game.
Mm-hmm.
And she's held her spot at second base here. No Sophie Hall on the lineup here today, which is you wouldn't have thought that would have been the case. Knowing what type of player Sophie is.
Nice swing. Yeah, Cara's got such a good swing, and it's been, Sophie started a new job this year, so it's been a little bit hard for her to find some consistency in terms of regular attendance. And, Cara's come over from Seacombe, and she's a known hitter. She took probably a little bit of time to settle into this team, but she's really finding her way now and doing what she needs to when she needs to do it.
Big swing again from Cara Schultz. She does not hold back, Cara Schultz, and 9 hits on the season, 11 RBIs leading the West Torrens in that offensive category. Sally Colquist just really making her work. That one was just a little high in the zone. Keeps this one on the outside edge. And for a strong pull hitter that Cara is, the outside's right where she wants it, but it was right at the right moment on Wednesday night when we said if she swings within herself, she just needs to get the ball in play, and she was able to do a bit of a check swing and drive in 2 runs on Wednesday night.
It was the first time I've seen Cara actually punch the ball. 2-strike hitting, made an adjustment, scored the winning runs, so full credit to her.
Pulls this one foul, so still being aggressive.
Yeah, I like Cara's aggressiveness in the batting box. And it pays off most of the time. Sometimes they worry that sometimes an aggressive batter might be a little bit too highly aroused in there. Their emotions might get ahead of their, choice of selection of pitch. But she does a really good job of, still selecting good pitches.
Crushes this one foul, a little early on it. Maybe even a bit lower in the barrel as well. So she's really got the hands way out in front.
Interesting seeing Sophie King, a noted infielder, out there at left field, isn't it, James?
Yeah, with Benithan catching.
Yep.
Robinson at shortstop.
3 excellent players. You could move them in any position.
Yeah, I was just thinking the 3 of them kind of swap around positions quite a bit in those 3 positions anyway. So, yeah, they're pretty versatile.
Low for a ball and a walk, the first walk for Colquist. Just missing the bottom part of the zone, loading the bases up. Yeah, I would watch those 3 playing any team, any day. They're superstars of the competition. Now, speaking of which, hasn't this batter been impressive this year? First pitch, crushes it, just foul.
We've talked about Steph many times, James, this year already, but she is one powerful hitter of the ball. She's obviously a strong person. We've seen her pitching. You need strength for that, apart from technique. She's got the strength, and when she hits the ball, even when they foul, they go.
393 average, 414 on base, 11 hits for the season, 8 RBIs. If you were to name a team of the year, she'd be in it for a hitting.
Yeah, how about that? And and Steph was known, for those of you who've been watching and following SA softball for a long time, Steph as a junior was known as a fantastic hitter and went away to college in America where they specialized their players, and of course she was a pitcher. And didn't get to bat for all that time. So it's great to have her back now and given that opportunity and see what we all remember from so many years ago.
A quick story, she told me once that she did some batting practice with her college team. She faced one pitch, she hit it over the fence, dropped the bat and walked away to do more pitching. Pop up to the left side, Harris is tagging up. King takes a catch and she has to get the throw in quick smart. No play at the plate. Run will score, sacrifice fly to Trzynski. Her numbers just continue to grow for this West Torrens Eagles lineup. Harris crosses the plate. Never going to stop her from scoring in that situation.
Yeah, she'll back herself every time, and that's kind of something I was trying to get instilling in the all the players I worked with in the speed program, is that you've got to back yourself for a runner, because the minute you start doubting, you're going to be half the pace that you need to be.
Nucky goes first pitch, but, probably worst case scenario for the West Torrens runners, as she drilled it straight to the player at third base, who just takes one step back for the force out. And although West Torrens were in full control that inning with a couple of hits, 2 sacrifices and a walk, Walkerville only gave up the 1 run. So that's the difference in the ball game. It's a 1-0 game in favour of West Torrens.
And Walkerville going to have to try and match that, because the longer the game will go, the harder it will be to get runs. So every opportunity they're going to look to kind of do what they did the last time, getting people on, but then try and convert it into some runs scored. The 3, 7, 8, 9 batters coming up, James.
Gray, Yancic and Ramsey. Now these 2 teams have only played off the once. They would have played during the circuit breaker, so that's why they've only played once so far in the year, and most other teams they've played twice, and some even 3. It was a 7-4 victory to West Torrens. Jenny Gray is the batter, and that was West Torrens' first win of the year. They were 0-4 going into that game.
Wow. There's a stat you don't hear very often. We haven't heard for the last few years anyway, that 0-4, for West Torrens, because they've always been quite a strong team. But look, they're doing what they need to do now, so it was short-lived.
Good cut from Jenny Gray. And then she just put her hand up, saying, "Oh, it's okay, coach. I'll settle it down on this one. I'll watch the ball onto the bat."
That's what we were talking about before, just that pace that Taylor has on that ball. From the pitch, the batters in this Premier League, it's quite slow to what they're seeing, so their timing has really messed around a bit.
Struck out for Gray. That's the first of the game for Mead.
Yes, it is, James.
Lisa Yancic is the hitter for Walkerville. Pulls this. Nucky will take it just inside the foul line, so a quick out. It's 2 now for Walkerville in the top half of the second inning. Bianca Ramsey will come to the plate. Shown some great form throughout the fully loaded season.
Yeah, former member or maybe current member. I know there hasn't been a competition of the under-23 team, and She's done some great things at great times over the last couple of years, hasn't she?
Yeah, she nominated to play this year. It got moved from December. Actually, finals of under-23s would have been played today right here at West Beach. If it wasn't for COVID, it's been moved to July, one of the last remaining tournaments that are still on the events calendar will be in Brisbane in July. So, yeah, like all thoughts out to all the state representatives who are missing the opportunity to go away, represent the state. Such a shame, but we understand why the decisions need to be made. Bianca Ramsey will get a walk. That's a big one, actually, for Walkerville, Kathy, because in the first game today, we saw most of the damage from both teams over all innings, but in particular, the last inning, all the runs were scored with 2 out.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to let that down your guard. I mean, it's anything can happen. We've been talking about this season how these teams are so even. You know, so damage can be done from the start of the inning, but then right up to the end of the inning. So it's you've got to be mentally focused for the whole 90 minutes.
Yes, we've spoken about this before, about you get 2 strikes quickly in an innings, and then all of a sudden, runs come. You know, so whether it's a combination of relaxation by the defence or just how it turns out, but that's a very good point, James. It was a terrific game to watch, be part of.
Hills Heat running out winners 4-3, jumping from 4th to 2nd with that win. That's how close the competition is, as Taylor Mead working around the zone, not giving Robinson anything. 3-1 count now.
Hard hitter the ball, this girl.
Yeah.
Can hit the ball either side of the field.
Yeah, 6 extra base hits
like
for the
Just
season.
like
This
that.
one smashed up the middle. Ramsey will advance to 2nd, and Robinson continues her hitting streak. 8 consecutive games with hits for Robinson. Started this game with a .455 average.
Impressive. And hitting it, you know, when you need, you've got a runner on, and you know what they need to do now is just work 1 run at a time, 1 batter at a time, start moving those base runners around.
Well, Benithan's impressive .407 average on the season gets better with runners in scoring position, hitting .417. So with Ramsey on 2nd, Walkerville could tie the game up here with a shot from Benithan, who's an extra base hitter as well. We mentioned Robinson, 6 extra base hits for the year. Benithan's got 3 of her own and 6 RBIs.
Yeah, dangerous place for West Torrens to have at the moment, and that doesn't help.
Well, to the back net, Nucky has to cover home. And timeout called from Allen. 2 runners in scoring position now. Look, that's dangerous with Allen carrying a bit of an injury. She didn't bat on Wednesday night because of that slight injury. She is in the batting lineup today. We hope she's okay, of course, but if any of the runners catch on to that, they could start looking at 2 bases.
Yep. I'll tell you a little story about Haley in a moment.
Base on balls, 2nd of the game, 14th walk of the season for Benithan. And with 2 outs, we've had 2 walks and a single to load the bases for Sophie King.
Jenny Gray comes in to run for the catcher, who's left us.
Ground ball to 3rd, and Kaiser in a bit of a mirror image of what happened at the end of the last inning, where Kelsey Nucky hit the ball straight to Sophie Roberts, who was fielding at 3rd for the force out. Lana Kaiser repeats with a put out to 3rd base.
Yeah, Eagles, I'm sure, are breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief, but, you know, I'm sure Walkerville a little bit disappointed in that missed opportunity there, especially with their top-of-the-order batters in the lineup.
I was mentioning Hayley Benithan. I think she's still going to America in the college system, James, and she's going to a place called Kansas. So I think she keeps going the way she's begun. She'll be known as the Wizard of Oz because Kansas is where that was made. How'd you like that, James? You look not interested all of a sudden?
Just shielding the back of my neck from the sun.
Yeah, that's
just come out, bit of a bite, and just trying to hope that I can ignore that joke and get back to the action. No, that was terrific. Well done, Lee.
I like
Jamie Mead's in Florida. What do you got for us for that?
Nothing except sunshine. And you know what I think about sunshine, or too much of it. It's no good for you.
Alicia Marchenk is the hitter for the Eagles. Kathy's sticking her hands and fingers up at me, trying to send me a message. What is it?
The message is, today is Alicia's 300th game.
300th club game?
Yes.
Terrific player. Crushes this right side. Just into foul territory. We saw Alicia had the #1 play the first time we did a top 10 countdown. Diving catch. It saved a run. It may have even changed the game. I think that was against Seacombe about four or so years ago. And very impressive outfielder. Handy lower order batter for the Eagles. Dead ball. And she took off just in case the call wasn't made, but it was fouled into her leg.
Yeah, very consistent player. Handy with the bat. Fantastic in the outfield. You know, she just gets in there and does her job. Just no fuss. And just loves her softball. You know, I've never seen her without a smile on her face. So she's a pleasure to watch.
Pulls this one foul, so she's getting aggressive here in this turn of bat. I think my stat sheet might need a slight update on this. It says she's only played 5 games for the season, so I'll double check that. But still has a handful of hits, contributing well for West Torrens. Fouls this one off.
Yeah, she hits the ball hard. She also works a job where there's a range of shifts and weekend work as well. So, you know, potentially, I'm not saying I've seen her every game this season, and obviously I haven't seen every game this season, but she's been fairly regular from the ones that I've seen.
Colquist takes her time this time around just to gather her thoughts and maybe even put that little bit of extra pressure on the hitter who swung at every pitch so far and then comes in with a change-up. So smart approach.
Experience.
Crushes this one. It's going to stay in the field of play. Lisa Yancic reads it pretty well in the end and backs back a couple of steps to take a comfortable catch for the first out.
Yeah, nice solid hit. You could hear it off the bat. Yeah, Lisa was in a great position, just moved herself a little bit, got behind it. So they'll be happy with that first out, bringing up Carly Allen.
First pitch, half swing, going with it opposite field. So pushing the outside pitch to the right side, but into foul territory.
Two experienced campaigners here, isn't it? So Sally to Carly.
Oh, hit by pitch. Gee, she looked like she backed away from it, but still couldn't avoid getting hit. You're right, Lee. Very experienced player. Carly, it's hit her in the back elbow, so she got the front one out the way, but the back one, well, hopefully she's okay. It's she seems to be all right into her running position. So Jackie Beale for the Eagles, who's a left-handed short game specialist now. We wouldn't have said that 3 years ago.
No, absolutely not. And gee, hasn't she made the difference in a few games, probably over the last 5 that I've seen, just in her slapping ability, getting extra base hits on there, bunting at the right time, but then her speed on bases has contributed to some big wins.
Well, she's had 3 bunts for hits this year, add to that 2 sacrifice bunts, so maybe 1 in every 2 games, but she's had 7 hits on the year, hitting 292, so I mentioned there's 6 that have batted 300 or better. She's hitting 292, which not too bad at all, but great pitching from Sally Colquist for her first strikeout of the game. And 2 out.
Number 41. 41.
So a hit by pitch, Carly Allen, who is the catcher, gets aboard. Jackie Bill is the courtesy runner on first base. And Jordan Lambert up to bat.
Or maybe Jordan Harris?
Yeah, Jordan Harris up to bat.
I was only going to say she swings like her husband, but I wouldn't say that.
Had a great double to start the game off for the Eagles. And running bunt, this one spins in fair territory. It's a safe bunt, believe it or not. I'm not sure that you two will know this, but that's her first bunt for a hit for the year.
Yeah, I know we mentioned that just watching the leading team's replay of the year. That was really nice, came out of a spin. Chelsea Robinson got to that quick, but yeah, I mean, Jordan is known for her speed, and it was a timely time to put that on. But I agree, James. You know, we did mention last week, though, you know, potentially sometimes when you're first batter, you're not going to bunt too often. But also, she's had some great, she's got a great batting average this year. So Coach Scott probably is relying on a little bit of that.
Second hit of the game, and I got her name wrong early at bat. Oh, well, I've got that stat wrong as well, because my stat sheet, I'm corrected. She had 1 earlier in the season. So her second safe bunt of the year.
Perhaps you need to get to know her better, James.
If you've got a number, Lee, shoot it through to me, mate. 2 runners aboard for the Eagles. Lana Kaiser up to bat. She hit it hard to shortstop her first time up to bat, and then the throw bounced over to first base, so she was aboard from an error.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity here. We know Lana can hit and can hit hard, so we'll see what happens. But it's
Nathan takes a good catch for the 3rd out, denying the Eagles in the 2nd. So although West Torrens have had all the play, you would say, with the runners on base, it is the Eagles only with a 1-run lead after 2 innings. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
And I've just realized it's Haley behind. I knew that, but I made a mistake when I was talking about Jordan's bunt and said Chelsea Robinson picked it up and threw to first, but it is Haley, who is just as quick out of the box.
Pretty fair effort throwing her out from shortstop.
So that brings up Sophie Roberts, cleanup hitter to start the inning, and she'll be looking to get on. Start some things here for the Cats.
Well, it is West Torrens Eagles with a 1-0 lead over Walkerville Cats. We've completed 2 innings. We're in the top of the 3rd. We saw Harris with a 2-out running bunt. Don't see that too often, do you? It's
She's very competent, like you said, James. I've seen her play squeezes too. She's really good on the short game as well. Handy when you can do both of those things when you're batting leadoff, isn't it?
Absolutely. Sophie Roberts hitting 290 on the season, 405 on-base percentage. Absolute power hitter, young star of the competition. Oh, every time I watch her, she just looks like that she's about to unload on one. And great play from Kaiser, a diving play to a backhand side, bouncing the throw over to first base. Backup is from Bill, but Sophie Roberts is going to stand up at second. Lead off aboard advancing on a wild throw.
Yeah, what a great hit. We might be able to see that again, but a good effort too by Lana to stop that. Just, rushing that throw a little bit. But anyway, we've got a runner in scoring position, and this is exactly where Walkerville want to be.
Ash Lupino, the hitter for the Cats. Missed a couple of games early. Actually, just missed the one. Played 11 games on the season. Is aboard 323, 222 batting average, and 5 RBIs. A handy middle order batter for the Cats.
Yeah, and hasn't she slotted into second base very well after playing all another good hit there down the third base line.
This is going to score a run. Out of reach for the diving Kaiser. Roberts scores from second, and 2 batters aboard this inning for the Cats, and they've manufactured a run already. Great shot from Lupino. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. Pulled it down the third base line and out of reach, railing the line, and Sophie Roberts was able to score easily. Sack bunt. Kaiser in the action again, gets it across to Schulz for the first out. Well, that should settle the Eagles, but it is textbook softball here from the Cats. Dale advancing the runner from first to second. There's only 1 out with a runner in scoring position for Jenny Gray.
We're in the third, and we haven't completed that yet, and they've already had 8 people on the Eagles, so you'd expect to get some runs out of those. Visits to the bases.
Jenny ahead in the pitch there. She wants to hit that ball.
Goes to the backhand side of shortstop. The runner is at second, and she's way too far off the base. The throw over to Schultz covering second. We'll have a hosed, a heads-up play from Harris. Gray will reach safely. Leading team's replay to the backhand side of the shortstop, Harris. She looked up for the throw and then noticed out the corner of her eye that the runner was off the base. So maybe Lupino was thinking, I'll go to 3 on the throw.
Yeah, I think she was. She was holding up and waiting for it. So good decision there by Jordan. You know, it would have been a longer throw over there to get Jenny, but she saw an opportunity there. So they'll be happy with that out.
Well, 2 out for Yancey. Great recovery from Harris at shortstop. Good decision-making skills from the Eagles infield. But the Cats have been able to tie it up. Batters 8 and 9. Swing and a miss. So the middle order getting it done for the Cats, although the top order is threatened both times through.
Yeah, and Sophie and Ashley starting this inning off saw that ball so well. They pulled it very hard down the line, making it really difficult for Lana to get to those. So whether they're still starting to see it a little bit better now or timing, I mean, obviously some more than others, but this is where it gets dangerous.
Smashes this right side, but Jackie Beale moves across to the foul line to take a good catch and will end the Walkerville third batting innings. They did put a run on. It was 2 balls into play. The first 2 batters advance the runner on a wild throw from the Eagles defense, and then it was Lupino's shot up the left field line. Leading team's replay shows the catch from Jackie Beale as Walkerville will start with a 9-hitter, but the Walkerville top 4 batters have been on 7 out of the 8 turns at bat. So that's warning signs for the Eagles, and I can see Steph Trzynski doing a couple of run-throughs. I'd say that if Walkerville can get through to the top order for the 3rd time, they could do some more damage. So the Eagles, Lee, you mentioned that they've had a lot of base runners, but they've only got the 1 run so far.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed with the outcome of that, James. When you get 8 on, you'd expect to get two, 3 runs surely.
So is that what will be the decision-making process, to bring in Trzynski perhaps, as we saw her go through a little bit of a warm-up just before? If the Eagles can continue to score runs, Taylor Mead will continue to pitch?
Yeah, I think so.
Kathy?
You think she's coming in to pitch, Steph, do you? Or maybe just a warm-up was to just get her legs going.
Picard is the hitter. She had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning, contributing to the 1 run that scored.
Yeah, perfectly laid bunt. She's such a consistent hitter, Faith, and utility, I guess, is the word for her. I've heard you use before as well. Absolutely consistent.
Smashes this, but
great
Roberts
pickup.
with a backhand pickup off 1 bounce, fires it across to Gray for the first out. Great action here in the Premier League.
That was, looking at the leading team's replay here, how good was that from Sophie Roberts?
Oh, reflexes like a cat, as they would say, Lee.
Very good. I like that.
Yeah,
Jones.
just what you need on third base. And again, she's moved over there from first base. They've had a few changes as Walkerville team. And
Schultz goes first pitch. It's a high ball to the right side. Jenny Gray gets under it and calls out Lapino. It was a good call. We saw that mix up. That could have been a costly play in the early game, Lee. It was a fly ball to second base with loaded bases and 2 out. And she just saw the sun the whole entire way, had to back out of it. 2 runs across the plate.
Yep. It can happen quickly.
So an important out, and well done from Jenny Gray for 2 quick outs. Steph Trzynski.
Look at that power.
Great shot from Trzynski, smashing it to the left side. So another 2-out hit. We've seen plenty of those today.
yeah, nice solid hit through the 5-6 gap there. There's not much Chelsea could do out there with that, or Sophie, despite both being very quick in their positions.
That's why I was thinking Steph might be warming up to run in case she hits the ball like that.
12th hit of the season for Trzynski. She gets a big lead off. It is the 13th game for the Eagles, but she's only played in 10 so far, so she missed a couple of games earlier in the year. Big jump and a pick-off attempt. Quickly back to the base, Trzynski. Kelsey Nucky is the hitter for the Eagles. Here, Trzynski sacrifice fly, so the RBI, and she's got a single in her second turn at bat. So a great contribution yet again. This one's high, out to the left side. The glove goes up to shield the sun and just lands foul in between left fielder King and shortstop Robinson.
Yeah, I think Kelsey will be happy she gets another attempt at that because she's been hitting quite well lately. But yeah, there's 3 dangerous players there. Any one of those 3 could have gotten it if on another day. So she'd be very thankful of that.
Yeah, hitting .320 for the season, Kelsey Nugget. That is terrific batting stats, over a .414 on-base average. Behind in the count here, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low, and Trzynski continues to get a big jump. So that's in the back of the mind of the catcher Benathan, as we've already seen 1 pick-off attempt.
Haley just needs to concentrate on this batter because there's 2 down and Steph's going nowhere at the moment.
Oh.
Nucky smashed that one. It was a little inside and she got around early.
Had an opportunity to see the reflex skills of Coach Scott, and they're all still good.
So a good setup pitch to get one on the outside edge. Let's see how the Walkerville battery handled this next pitch as Nucky pulled that one foul on the inside. Yep, they go outside and Nucky good enough to foul that one off.
They're having a good battle, aren't they, the pitcher and the batter here?
It's a thinking person's game, isn't it, Kath?
just goes to show how good that Colquist is. She was a Rookie of the Year about 8 or so years ago. Low for a ball and another pick-up attempt. Trzynski slides in hands first.
Smart base runner, Steph. She's not going to get picked off.
She's a smart all-round softballer. She can field as well. Like her fielding's pretty good too. Underrated in the fielding because she's so good at pitching. And this season, she's just shown her form as a batter as well. So probably one of the best all-round players that we've got going in the competition.
Yep. And she was off on the hit and run play then.
Well, Nucky battling against Colquist. It's a full count. Runner on first. There is 2 out. Tries to go opposite and into foul territory. The ball ricochets off the fence. I think Colquist is too good to just groove one here with a full count, but it's like Nucky is just fouling these off until she gets that one.
Yeah, she's being very, very patient.
This one she's able to drive up the middle for a single. Base hit for Nucky.
And advanced runner to Steph there, so did her job.
Well, great battle at the plate. Nucky wins this round. Alicia Marchenk for the Eagles is up to bat. Flew out to right field her first turn. In an aggressive turn of bat, she fouled off a couple, so we've seen a lot of foul balls today.
Yes, we have, and Lisa Yancey better be ready again here, I think, because it's coming her direction. Or not. That's unless she's catching the motorbike somewhere to left field.
She wants to keep you guessing there, Lee.
Well, pitcher's not helping the cause here, Kath. Spoiling my best work.
All right, I'll touch on Alicia. She was one of the 6 batting over 300 for the Eagles, hitting 364 as she crushes this to left side. Sophie King has some trouble reading that one, and it goes to the fence. So Marchenk with a 2-run double. And with 2 outs, the Eagles go 3 consecutive hits. Timeout called.
Nice little celebration for her 300th game, so she'll be really happy with that, and contributing 2 more runs to make it 3-0 at the moment.
She crushed that on the leading team's replay, and Sophie King looked like she had it, but maybe there was a little bit more on it than she thought. There was just a gust of wind just then, so maybe there was a little bit out there as well, but Marchenk, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Carly Lemon grounds this one off to Sally Colquist for the 3rd out, so the damage was done from Alicia Marchenk. 3 consecutive hits to the Eagles, to Trzynski, Nucky, and Alicia. There she is again on the leading team's replay. Those 2 runs are now a new lead. That's the margin as well. It's 3 runs to 1.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see the strategy of what Coach Scott will decide, moving forward now, whether he wants to make any changes in the team. But we've got Taylor coming back out here, and she's done the job so far. So, we'll see how things go.
Yeah, we talked about that just prior to this, and about whether she was going to come in, Steph, to pitch, but she's not going to now with a score at 3-1, surely.
Well,
what do you think, James?
Like I said earlier, if Eagles keep scoring runs, Taylor Mead can continue to pitch. Now, I just want to point out, I want to see Steph pitch because she's an elite pitcher, and we want to see the best players play, but no disrespect to Taylor Mead. She's made a move over from the Glenelg Softball Club this season and has spearheaded the pitching lineup for West Torrens. There's been a few pitchers that they've used. They've used Jackie Beale. They've used Izzy Benedictson, and they've been able to contribute and combine together, but it's off the back of, as they say in men's softball, they call them the horse, because you ride them all day, you ride them all season, and Taylor Mead's 40 innings of work has been able to put them into the position that they're currently in contention for the finals. And so take nothing away from her performance so far, and that is why Coach Scott continues with Taylor.
Yeah, well said, James, and absolutely right. She's done all that she needs to in coming in and filling in this position all season at the start of the season.
Started this fourth inning off pretty well, a called strike, and that one just around the edges of the zone. Bianca Ramsey had a walk her first turn at bat.
Looks like a hitter, Bianca, doesn't she? Has a very good stance. Plays baseball too. Pitches in baseball. I've seen the pitch game.
Yeah, she went through the Dragons program as well. She in the inaugural year of the Dragons program, then went away to 23s, had a year off. Big swing from Ramsey, but the year off was after she was a grand final hero. In a very tight game, she got a couple of hits.
She was
Gabby
terrific.
Snyder.
Yep. Terrific that night she was.
In the wet.
Yep.
Yeah, had the next year off and has returned to softball this season.
Yeah, it's really nice to have her back. She's just a lovely player to watch. And again, like so many, I guess we say it a lot, such a consistent player. And then pulls out some of these massive hits sometimes, as she did in Fully Loaded with that home run over the fence, or a couple of times, I think.
Bianca Ramsey on her bike there, maybe thinking that she might have had an extra base as the ball got away from catcher Carly Allen. She actually had to jump to move out of the way of that, and I can see over your shoulder, Kathy, the number 17, going through the motions in the bullpen for the Eagles. Back to the very top of the order for the Cats, the game's original leadoff hitter for the third time. Shows bunt, Ramsey takes off. The play at the base was close, but Harris tried to make the tag before the ball got there, and it just moved away. I think the runner was going to be safe. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay of Ramsey's walk. It was going to be either a hit by pitch or a fourth ball, so what any batter would have done, move out the way of that. Pulled down the third base line, foul.
Oh, that would have been that was a huge hit. Nice and hard, but just looked like it got on the other side of the base there for Chelsea.
There's been a few of those going over the base this season, hasn't there?
Well, Kayser is close enough that she can dive to get a ball on the line, and she's shown that she's very capable of putting the body on the line. I think she may have even moved a step closer, because there's been a couple of plays tight there on the base. She never goes home with a clean uniform, does she?
Same with Hayley Benithan. Hayley will dive in the bases just for the practice. I've seen her do that when she goes from first to second on a steal.
Well, with none out, we'll see her come up to bat next as this ball is hit
That
into
was a
foul
good pitch,
territory.
actually. Just jammed her up then.
Third time through the lineup for the Cats, and Chelsea Robinson, who popped up to second base, then had a great shot up the middle for a second turn. This one's in the gap, single to left field. Ramsey's held up. Kayser does the cutoff.
Excellent running by Robinson as well.
Yeah, great running, taking the opportunity there, knowing that they're probably not going to take a risk on her.
Or runners advance to second and third. Faith Ricard's pretty deep out there at left field, but Ramsey was held up. Benithan, there's none out. Probably no point risking it if it was going to be a tight play at the plate for Benithan and King and Roberts with none out. So I think a good call in the end.
Yeah,
Just play the
definitely.
percentages.
So out of 9 at-bats. The top 4 have got on 8 times. Here's Benithan, who's had 2 walks.
She'll be looking to crack it hard, and she can. When she makes contact.
When she makes contact. That was going to fly if she did. There's no doubt about that.
Just patience in the tracking the ball. You've got to track the ball when you bat any case against any quality pitcher. But with a slower pitcher, you just need to be patient.
Yeah, wait till it comes to you rather than chasing it out in front.
1 ball, 2 strikes. This one is fouled off, and we've got to thank our broadcast partners over the first half of the season, leading teams, MC Sportswear, and of course Bob Burns Blinds, MK Services SA. We do around the grounds for MK Services SA as Benithan pulls this to the shortstop under the glove of Harris. Robinson's held up. Benithan turns first. Ramsey scores. So still with none out, the Cats are on the prowl here in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, solid hard hit. Oh, Jordan would have been really disappointed about that. But did the Walkerville batter, Hayley Benithan, did exactly what she needed to do in scoring a run. And we knew she was going to hit that hard, didn't we, Lee?
We had a feeling that might have been the case.
She had a couple of big cuts at it. The timeout sees the Walkerville Cats. Look at that experience over there. King, Benithan and Robinson. That's danger for the Eagles here with none out here in the top of the 4th inning. They hold a 1-run lead, but for how long as the middle order for the Cats up to bat? A walk and 2 hits so far in this 4th inning. Short game specialist King. Benithan takes off and cut off by the second base player Schultz, just in case Robinson takes off on the throw, and Benithan unopposed stands up at second.
Yep.
Big swing and a miss from King. It tips the end of the bat, and we can see a 1-1 count with 2 runners in scoring position. King's going to swing away. Ground ball to shortstop. Harris checks the runner, fires it across for the out. Good take from Nucky. She nearly had to jump for it, but changed her mind to just reach up high. She maintained her foot on the base, and Robinson wasn't able to go anywhere. So good defense from the Eagles. They stopped 1 chance from the Cats. They've still got 2 more with Sophie Roberts, who's had a walk and got a board in the 3rd inning. A good shot to third base, but the throw that got away from Nucky advanced her to second. Crushes this.
Huge.
Picard under it to take a catch. Robinson was tagging up, but Benithan
Diving
into third base safely. It was deep enough for her to tag up at second to take the extra base. 2 outs and a catch, a speed up. We'll see King come in to run. So the 2nd run of the inning to tie the game up. Sacrifice fly leading teams replay.
Oh, what a great hit by Sophie. Wow. I mean, good job for Faith to get to it, but that was solid. Did exactly what she needed to do as the cleanup batter in that 4th position.
2nd run of the inning to tie the game. Lupino. Cats aren't done yet here in the 4th inning. They've scored 2. Runner Benithan, or King now, replaced by catch a speed up rule on third base and threatening. Crushes this. Marchenk is out there under it, and it goes straight down her throat. The 300 gamer takes a good catch to end the threat, but not before 2 runs cross the plate for the Cats to tie it up.
Yeah, that was quite an exciting inning. You know, both teams threatening at all times, and did a really good job this time of getting those runners into a score once they got on, as opposed to sort of earlier on in the game. So they're finding their straps, and they're all ready to start playing some hard-hitting softball.
I think we're going to see Steph next, aren't we? Next innings, you'd think. If it's tied up now.
Oh, we've got a change
here.
of position here from Walkerville. As we talked about these three, Haley, Sophie, and Chelsea, and now we can see that they've actually just had a little bit of a rotation. Clockwise rotation. Haley's gone out to left field, Sophie's come into shortstop, and Chelsea's gone into the catching position.
Well, we mentioned how good those three are and that we could watch them play ball all day long, and they spearhead this Cats lineup. I mean, you'd throw Roberts in there, you'd throw Lupino in there. They're a great team, but they're the three leaders of the team, and Robinson, of course, behind the plate is the superstar of that team.
Yep.
Is she captain of the team, Lee? Chelsea Robinson?
Not sure. Probably is, I think.
8 games played. This is her 9th. She's got 10 hits, including 2 today, so 12 hits. Behind the plate, making all the calls now. So could this be a game-changing call from the Cats? Time will tell. Jackie Beale up to bat. High for a ball. Has struck out her first turn of bat.
Hayley Benithan's in the wrong position here for this batter. She needs to be on the line near the dirt. Just by the dirt.
Fouls off to that left side, Lee, but it was a running bunt attempt. In that case, you've got Bianca Ramsey just fielding regulation centre field straight up the middle. Yancek, you'd say, is regulation at right field. Are they in the right place?
Oh, I don't think. I think
move everyone around.
Lisa should come in a bit because I don't think Jackie's a big puller of the ball.
Reaches for that on the outside edge. So smart pitching from Colquist.
See, all of her shots, even though they've been foul, when she's hit it, have gone this side. They're not going to go long. She's not going to go long to right field. She needs to be in.
Second strikeout of the game for Beale, and is Colquist's second strikeout for the game. So
that's uncharacteristic for Jackie. We haven't seen that all year.
Yeah.
Not 2 times in a row, particularly. So
and it's disappointing because
should be disappointed.
You have enough swings. You're not getting really fast pitching at you. Should be able to make contact, you think.
Lambert goes first pitch to the backhand of Sophie King. She's got to come up with a thrust throw.
Look at this back up from Robinson.
That's a safe hit from Harris. She was there before the throw got there, and it was a great backup from Robinson. Let's look at the leading team's replay. She'll beat this one out. It was a great stop from King.
Yeah, absolutely. And gee, wasn't Chelsea? I mean, we all know Chelsea's fast. I certainly do from the speed program. But gee, what a good job that she did to get up there to cut that down, because we know that Jordan would have absolutely been on second otherwise.
Yep. Third hit of the game from Harris. So Eagles with another runner on board as Kaiser goes first pitch. And it's going to be a chest mark out there at centre field from Bianca Ramsey. She changed her mind to take it about belt height. So it's probably about right, isn't it? You have your glove up when it's above the belt. Yep. You have your glove down when it's below the belt.
Here we see it again on the leading team's replay. Oh, just a bit quick there for me. But, yep, she may have to make that decision at the last minute and pulled it off.
Well, 3 plays in 3 pitches. We've seen a strikeout, an infield single, and a line drive to centre field. There's 2 out for Faith Picard. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning in a tied ball game.
Can't get much tighter.
Outside for a ball. So Colquist really relying on her edges here. She's been terrific all game so far. Given up a couple of hits, but kept the damage to a minimum, as Harris's lead-off might be a little shorter because on Wednesday night she was called out for leaving the base early. There wasn't a leading team replay on that, but maybe just with it running within herself at the moment as this one pops up to the right side, and Jenny Gray will take a catch for the 3rd out. So a quick inning for the Cats in defence. Sees the Eagles get the 1 runner aboard. They were aggressive with their swings, weren't they, the Eagles?
Yeah, they know that they need to start taking the opportunities when they're in the batting boxes, and you know that especially with the top of the order lineup. So they probably would be quite disappointed with how that panned out.
Well,
Now
Lee,
it's going to be Steph.
yeah, the call's been made. Yeah, we can see Trzynski with the glove. She was the DP to start the game. So we'll see Taylor Mead come out of the game. The Eagles will go from 10 to 9. And in the 5th inning, Trzynski will come in to do the work. Let's have a look at some of her pitching stats. 3 games, 9 innings, 1 win. She's thrown, I said 9 innings, for 22 strikeouts. Very impressive. Given up 6 hits, and most of those came in her first game back, and that was against Port Adelaide in the shocking conditions. But she still managed 3 innings. 3 strikeouts in that 1 inning, as well as giving up a couple of hits. But
yeah, what you just said there, James, with your numbers there, she's averaging a little over 2 strikeouts an inning. So this is absolutely a great time to sort of bring things in while Walkerville was starting to get a little momentum and just change things up a little bit. You know, just a different speed. And with Steph's experience, hopefully, you know, keep the score down where it is at the moment.
all right, Lee, here's a coaching one for you while Steph Trzynski goes through her warm-up pitches. It is the top of the 5th inning. I just am going to reach for the time. We're about 70, close to 70 minutes into the game, so about 20 minutes to go. Which coach is going to go to their bench first? Both of them have got 4 players, Moore, Bested, Saunders and goal for the Cats for a pinch hit. Or is it going to be the Eagles go to their dugout for Wheeler, Benedictson, Mead, Fuss and Hoyle, all who have contributed this year for the Eagles?
Yeah, well, on both benches there's some speed. Well, a couple of speedy ones on Walkerville, but Walkerville will need to change their game here. Different pitcher completely. There'll be no long ball whacking going on now.
Well, Trzynski straight to work.
Yep.
And a foul ball. Ooh, the sun just glaring off the monitor, so I'm going to get you guys to call any of the leading team replays from now. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, we can.
All right,
Thanks.
the sun beginning to set on the afternoon and on the first half of the season here in the Premier League. We've gone 12 games. This is game number 13 for each of the teams. 25 games in a season. They play each other 5 times. So it is very much the halfway point. We'll go into a Christmas break, 6 long weeks. The Spacequake sports team will be back a week before the Premier League comes back for the State Championship Division 1 finals as Dale fouls that one off. And then we're back on Saturday the 30th of January. The return of the Premier League for the race to the finals. It is so tight at the moment. 2 teams on 14, 1 on 13, 1 on 12, separating 2nd and 5th place.
Yeah, I think it's about as even as I can remember for the last couple of years.
I thought that was a foul.
I thought that was a foul
but
myself.
but the batter takes off for 2nd to try to get 2 bases on a strikeout.
That's experience for you, isn't it, from Karen?
I said it earlier. I said that the runners will catch on that Carly's not running back to the fence, and we saw it right there. So Karen Dale with a 2-base strikeout.
That's funny when you put it that way,
It's
but
going to be
good on
hard
her.
to top that. I'm sure I'll give it a go.
Good on her, taking that opportunity. That's experience for you.
We'll talk about game-changing moments because it's a 3-all ball game. Walkerville defence has shown time and time again this season to hold up. 1 run could be the difference.
Got a bunt.
And their lead-off is aboard. Let that go foul. It's going to stay in play. Runner
Karen's
advances.
gone through to 3rd.
Jenny Gray aboard on a safe bunt sacrifice attempt. It looked like it was spinning backwards, but the Eagles defense decided to leave it at the last minute. Looked like it was the right play, but maybe it was just too far inside the line. And now they call timeout to have a bit of a chat. And Steph Trzynski, who we all thought would come in to shut down the Cats.
Leading teams replay here, just having a look at that bunt again. Definitely got high enough.
Yep.
But
well, we said about at the start of this when Steph come in the pitch, there won't be any long ball hitting. They need to change the game up. And we've just seen two changes. The one with Karen, I still can't believe that. But Karen can run.
Very
She's round
clever.
there at third. There's one base to go. Here it is.
Sliding in safely for the go-ahead run. So the Cats leading 4-3.
And all those people out there in softball land that said, why is Karen playing? There's a
that's
reason.
why.
Smart base running.
Swing is the call on the pitch. So we'll have a strike called on the bunt attempt. Jenny Gray advances to second base. Dale scores from third. And the go-ahead runner. It's either 1 to 4-3. You would think that there were two chances go begging for the Eagles on that occasion in the drop third strike. And then two bases on the...
Yeah.
And then a pop-up bunt that three fielders left.
Yeah, things definitely fell their way, but very smart softball in those two plays there by Walkerville.
Another dropped third strike, but throw across to Nucky for the first out. So a settler, maybe.
I think I will send the runner from second to third then. For some reason she's ball watching, just watching the play. It's that Jenny, is it?
Well, Trzynski deals to the 9-hitter Ramsey, who's had 2 walks on the game so far. She's crossed the plate once and been handy in the outfield. So good game so far from Ramsey. Swing and a miss.
Well, you're not going to drive this pitcher deep, so just shorten up and just make good contact. Steph's got all the work on the ball. You just contact it.
Fouls that one off. So Trzynski has thrown 2 strikeouts. There is only 1 out. 1 run has crossed the plate. And this is a battle to be in the top 4 at the Christmas break. The winner of this game will be in the 4. The loser will be sitting in 5th place.
Yeah, it's there's been plenty riding on these 2 games.
Live ladder has Walkerville on 15 points. If you count this margin as a win.
Yep.
And in 2nd place. But should West Torrens come back and win it, they'll drop to 5th.
Walkerville will. Right. Okay, it is very close.
Spectacular action here in the Softball SA Premier League, brought to you by Spacequake Sports. Ramsey gets the end of the bat. The ball spins and spins and spins.
And stays on the line.
Stays on. Carly Allen. Well,
And a run.
well, I don't know what's happening out there for the West Torrens defense. Carly Allen just left it. The ball looked like it was going to spin out of play, and then she allowed the runner to go all the way across to second. On the throw, the runner scores 2 runs from the Walkerville offense from nothing. Well, that's a single.
Yep.
That's a single
It is.
to Ramsey.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So if we go over the 4 batters of this inning, we've seen the West Torrens defense come apart at the seams. A dropped third strike where the runner got to second. a pop-up bunt that they thought were going to spin foul, which landed safe. A strikeout, and then another miss-hit that come off the end of the bat that they thought would go foul and stayed into play.
I am not sure I've actually ever seen an inning like this
No,
before.
I haven't.
I'm trying to make some sense of it, but it's really difficult.
The ball hasn't gone past the catcher.
No.
Or on the score sheet. But 2 runs.
Steph's doing her part.
Yeah.
And the ball was not reacting the same.
It's Chelsea Robinson who's having a game. 2 hits already. She's crossed the plate once, and team leader. She moved into catching position last inning and had a 3 outs from 4 batters, including 2 of the top 3 hitters of the Eagles lineup. So she's captain fantastic for this Cats team.
Yeah, she's just a great all-rounder and just getting better every season. It's been just a joy to watch her improve and develop.
Disciplined batter. She's a real disciplined batter now. A couple of seasons ago, she was after the first pitch every turn at bat. Got that out of her system.
Low for a ball, so a walk.
It's not a bad result for Eagles, I think.
Yeah, I think Steph probably was trying to keep it as wide as she could or low or high as she could rather than putting it somewhere where we know that Chelsea will get a good hit from.
Have to bunt here. There's only 1 out, isn't there? Yep. Must bunt.
Big cut from Benithan, so not wanting to mess around. She's had 2 walks and a single in this game so far.
I still bunt with Kingy to bat, even if she gets out Haley.
And that one sits right at the bottom of the zone. 2 strikes.
Needs to make an adjustment now and just try and get the ball on the deck somewhere. Oh, I wouldn't be leaving that go. Steph has got a, I'm not sure what sort of a smile that was.
I'll back Benithan's eye. 14 walks on the season in the 12 games she's played, or 13 if you count this one.
Fair comment.
Fouls this one off.
She had a nice swing at that.
Got their tails up, the Cats, haven't they now? You can just sense it with their batting. They're facing one of the best pitchers we've got.
Allen just doing some running repairs to the, or shoelace, was it? She's tied the shoelace up now. This inning has gone 5 batters so far with just the 1 out, and we're at the 80-minute mark. Time running out for the Eagles, and the Cats look in the goods. It is all smiles. You can hear from their dugout. There's plenty of noise and support. There's 2 runners on base, and they're at the top of their lineup.
They're up and about.
That's all it takes is a little bit of momentum going their way, and then it just keeps rolling, doesn't it?
And this season especially, lots of stuff has been happening late in the game. First game was the same. James already touched on that. No score. Come to the last innings, 7 runs are scored.
But Benithan gets a lot of this. Beale gets under it to take a catch. Ramsey tags up. The runner goes, but Robinson at first base holds up. So Benithan advances the runner. There's 2 out, so catcher speed up. We'll probably see Benithan coming to run for Robinson. King and Dale are going to have a chat in the shade.
Yeah, that's a nice hit by Haley. Nice and solid. Did exactly what she needed to do. Advanced the lead runner to put her in a scoring position. Just having a look at that again. The replay, the leading team's replay.
Is the sun playing havoc on our monitor here, guys? I'm trying to think of an answer. As Sophie King goes after this one.
Dangerous batter here at the plate, Lee.
He certainly is. The runner beneath, and she's not going through the second, not on this with 2 out. Just wait for the hit.
Nice swing there by Sophie King.
Two strikes to count on the hitter. The runner takes off and...
Oh, yeah, she was off. Looked like she was off a fair enough way to have a ping.
Yeah, most definitely.
So good running continues for the Cats in this 5th inning. They've got a 2-run advantage, 5-3, top of the 5th. 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. Ground ball to shortstop, and the runner runs straight into the shortstop, Harris. She still made the play and threw the ball across, but dead ball was called as soon as contact was made. When you're in the field, active fielding the ball, leading team's replay will show it. This is the one that spun on the line, and it just stayed there on the line. And then the batter who hit the ball slid into second to allow Gray to cross the plate. So that was the 2nd run of the inning for the Cats. And well, West Torrens have taken their time, and there is now just 7 minutes of regulation time and no new innings with 2 to go, which means that this is West Torrens' last chance, and roll of the dice as you would. They have been through the batting order 2.5 times, so it's the 3rd time through the lineup. They're up to their 4, 5, 6 hitters, all batting over 300, so they're capable of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely capable, and they'll be wanting to do this then. It reminds me of, was it this time last Saturday playing against Sturt? They were in a very similar position, a couple of runs down, and they left it to the very last moment to do what they needed to do. So they know they can do it. This shouldn't bother them. They shouldn't feel under any other pressure. They have actually been here before.
Well, Cara Schultz has a walk and a pop-up to first base in this match. Outside edge for a ball. Well, we've seen some aggression from the West Torrens batters in this game, but it's only got them 3 runs.
Haven't seen anybody warming up for Walkerville, James, in case, pitching.
No, not yet.
No, me neither.
6 hits in the 4 innings so far for the Eagles.
Full credit to Sally. Game's not over yet, but
Well,
full credit to her for going the distance.
All season so far, the defense has had her back the entire season. Ably assisted by Riley Moore, one of the young stars of the competition, contributing from the pitcher's plate. So the experienced Colquist against the young up-and-coming Cara Schultz, who will head off to college after the completion of this season.
Essentially wearing exactly the same uniform that she's wearing now, just with Salt Lake Community College on it instead.
Low for a ball. So lead off aboard for the Eagles.
Not what the Cats wanted then.
That's just the 2nd walk of the game for Sally.
Yep. It's coming at a bad time.
Well, both of them have been against Schultz.
Well, she probably saw the game the other night where Cara's belted one to win the game.
First pitch. They're going to go for the lead runner. Gets away from the shortstop, Sophie King. Schultz slides in hard, and Trzynski's aboard, advancing the runner.
That's an awesome pickup by Sally. You know, obviously unfortunate with the throw, but gee, that came quick at her.
Yeah, she sort of threw the ball to the player rather than the base. So whether it was Ash went there too, didn't she, Lupino?
Well, all the players went to the right place, including Sally, a great reflex take. As Nucky is up to bat now. Yeah, great reflex, and she did the right thing. She tried to play the lead runner.
As you would.
But the throw just went to the opposite side of Sophie King at shortstop. Couldn't stop the momentum of going towards the base. As Nucky's jammed up, this one's a pop-up, and it will be an infield fly, so that's the first out. And something to settle the Cats here. They've just got to hold their nerve to run away with a win here.
Brings up Alicia Marchink, our 300th player game here, who has had a double in their last turn at bat, which would be very handy for her and the team at this time.
Timeout called, and this will ensure that it is the last inning. We've passed that mark anyway. We're about 3 minutes left of time, and as mentioned, this will be the last inning. We've got Coach Dale speaking to the Cats. We've got Coach Scott talking to the Eagles. Alicia Marchink, we can see a player warming up in the on-deck circle, Kathy. And
that would be Sophie Hoyle, as we thought might happen at this time of the game. So we know that Sophie can hit, and this is absolutely the time to bring her in.
Marching with 2 runners aboard. First pitch goes to Roberts. She's just bobbled it just a little bit. She thought she had it. She was breaking back for third base to make that force play. She was down the line a little bit as well, so it was a quick thought, a quick reaction. She had to grab the ball and move to the base because she was off of it for a fair bit down for the bunt. She left it behind, and the Eagles have got loaded bases. Yeah, have a look at it here, and again, come out very hard, but she's turned her head away from it actually instead of leaving it over the top, and that's I think that's contributed to sort of it bouncing just out of her. But, brave, absolutely brave attempt. Well, we've got 1 out. We've got a pinch hitter for the Eagles, Hoyle, in for Carly Allen.
This is what pressure does, doesn't it?
Strike on the outside edge. Great spot to start for Colquist, because that's really going to make Hoyle think, well, instead of waiting for my pitch in my wheelhouse, I've got to protect that outside edge now as well. So that changes that batter's thought process. So great start from Colquist against Sophie Hoyle, who has 5 hits on the season for a .238 batting average. 4 RBIs.
Got to get one of these next 2 out for sure.
Swing, foul.
Got under that a little bit. Dropped her shoulders just a little bit, so she just needs to stay a little bit more level through that swing.
There's 1 out. Here in the bottom of the last inning, Walkerville holding on to a 2-run lead with loaded bases. Hoyle goes opposite field and into the gap. Janchik looks at Ramsey, who picks it up on 1 bounce. 1 run scores. There's chaos on the bases as the ball gets under the glove of Robinson. Now Trzynski in a rundown. Dives back into third for the out. There's another runner. Safe, dives under the throw. What's happened here?
Wow.
It's all happening
Everywhere. Ring the ambos.
All right, let's settle. Let's settle here. 1 run scores for West Torrens off the single from Hoyle. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. She got it right into the gap, the perfect gap. 1 run scores, and then the throw from Ramsey was perfect. The cut-off play just gets away from Robinson. Trzynski was back safely to third, but then decided that she might try and get home on the misfield from Robinson. They get her in a trap play to make the out, and then King claims the tag as the runner gets back to second safely. It's a 1-run ball game. Jackie Beale up to bat for the Eagles as she fouls that one off. Down to their last out, the Eagles. Marchink, the runner on second. Hoyle aboard.
With the risk of repeating myself, Hayley Benithan's got to get to the line and then on the dirt. She's not going to hit it that deep. Repeat of earlier message.
Leading team's replay shows Hoyle's hit. Great turn at bat for a team. There's Trzynski. You watch her indecision.
It's very important that Sophie Hoyle gets this ball cleanly if it comes to her. Sophie Roberts, correction.
Great action from the Spacequake Sports team.
There.
Shot from Beale. The force to third, so Marchenk holds up at third. She gets aboard safely. It's loaded bases for the Eagles.
May I say, if Hayley Benithan was in that position on the dirt, that was nearly an out then, I reckon, at third.
Back-to-back hits for the Eagles. So far in this inning, we've seen a walk, a wild throw from the pitcher, a pop-up, an error at third base, and then 2 hits for West Torrens. Let's have a look at the timeout. Amy Wheeler is going to come in for Sophie Hoyle. So it doesn't matter about the flex. Well, it's not a flex player. It's the catching position of Carly Allen, because it's the end of time. So we've run out of time. So we've got 2 outs and loaded bases.
And it's Mrs. Harris who loves this situation. Batting.
1 run scored so far in this inning.
Message to the right for Elisa. You got to be in. You got to catch the ball. Get out of this ball game with a win.
Colquist to deal to Harris. High and outside, so being careful here. West Torrens need a one run to tie it. 2 to win it. Walkerville need 1 out. Harris smashes this to the left side. It's foul. It's the live ladder has 2 teams on 14. Walkerville in a winning position here will go into the Christmas break on 15 and in second. Plenty to play for here in the Premier League. Low for a ball. Colquist has been precision with her edges today to get batters nibbling around the strike zone. 2-1 count. Smashes this into the alley. 1 run will score. It's a walk-off for Harris and the Eagles. Beale scores from third. And Harris a 3-run double to end the game. The Eagles walk it off for the second time in 2 weeks, in 1 week, in 3 games.
And the husband's excited and the mother is relieved because she now can look at the game.
That's a second week in a row that I have not watched those plays. It just is just a little difficult.
Rightly so too.
Oh, what a game. I'll tell you what, that last 35 minutes from both teams has provided some softball that I don't think I have ever seen, or hard to describe, hard to understand, but gee, doesn't it work? It worked.
Well, the 3 runs will count. We're just getting confirmation of that. And on the leading team's replay, she smashed this to the fence. Benithan had to field it, but it was all in vain as the runner from second to cross the plate was the winning run. So with the 3 runs, the Eagles will win it by 2, 7-5. And as we are about to go into a Christmas break, we might grab your thoughts, guys. Leading team's player of the game, does it go to the match winner? She had 4 from 4, including a 2-run double to win the game.
Yes, yes with me.
And if we look at the ladder, Sturt versus Seacombe still to play. That's top versus second. They will remain in those positions. But from position 2nd to 5th on the Premier League ladder going into the Christmas break, Hills, 14 points. Port Adelaide, 14 points. West Torrens, 14 points. Walkerville, 13 points. Separating second to fifth. Guys, that game had it all. We saw an inning that we'd never see again at the top of that inning, and then West Torrens responded. A walk-off win. That was West Torrens' second walk-off in 7 days.
Courtesy of the number 7 hitter.
Absolute
7 batter.
spectacular action, and guys, I just want to really thank you two, Kathy and Lee. I want to thank Eric Bolnar and Mark Cramp for all the commentary action that they've brought, and you have brought this first half of the season to David and his team at Spacequake Sports. You guys are the best. We bring the best broadcast of softball in the country and arguably across the world for a local competition, and it's all very special thanks to our broadcast partners from Infinity Signs, CBS, Community Bridging Services, Leading Teams, MK Services SA, MC Sportswear, Bob Burns Blinds, Spacequake Sports, Softball SA, and if you guys want to give a Christmas message, you can. Merry Christmas to everyone watching at home. We'll see you in 2021.
Yeah, and a big thank you to Softball SA, James, and all you do to bring this out every Wednesday and Thursday with Fully Loaded and Saturday. Because you're right, I've got a lot of family around the world. They absolutely love this broadcast, and I can see the comments they make on it each week. And I'm going to send a little shout out to my oldest daughter, who's actually in quarantine up in Darwin, and she'll be home with us on the 1st of January. So that's going to be super exciting for us.
Hi, Shannon.
Yes, and I'd just like to reiterate those thoughts of you, Kathy and James. Merry Christmas, everyone. Don't forget to pig out, but don't drink too much, unless it's water.
Merry Christmas, everybody.